Hey students, it's Mr. Ta here, and I want to talk to you about our new unit, Nonfiction, Reading the Weather. This is lesson 2 in that unit, and we're going to talk about activating prior knowledge. So what does that mean? Well, today we are learning to use what we already know to help us understand nonfiction texts. So today I want to teach you that as you get older, you don't just read more nonfiction, you also read it differently. See, grown-up nonfiction readers make a commitment to learning from a text by making connections between what they already know and care about and the text. Did you know that there are two different ways you can read nonfiction text? You can read it in a sort of waiting for the dentist way, or you can read it in a reading to become smarter way. So we've all seen people waiting by picking up a magazine just to waste time. They flip open the magazine and scan it for something interesting. And when their time is up and their name gets called at the dentist's office, for example, they just drop the magazine. How many of you have done something like that sort of nonfiction reading? I read that way a lot. I read junk mail that way. I read parts of books and newspapers. I just sort of pick up interesting tidbits. And, when I'm doing that kind of reading, I'm just looking for a text that I just really want to read. When I find something, it's almost as if I flip a switch in my brain and then I commit to learning from the text. And that's when I make my reading work very different. And that's the reading to become smarter here. I know you've heard people talk about the need to make a commitment to a team or a project. When you read to become smarter, the first step is to make a commitment to do so. You need to care about the topic. Sometimes you already do care about the topic, but other times you have to find ways to make yourself care. And one way to do that is to build connections between what you already know or care about and the topic. So let me talk about the book that we've already assigned to you, and then I'll probably be reading a little bit to you. It's called Everything Weather. If you don't know a lot about science or how weather works, you can still connect to this topic. I just want you to just take a moment. Think about what you know about weather for a minute. Try to make this topic matter to you. Is anybody thinking about the fact that this past year we had one of the hottest summers in history? It was so hot. Or remember last year when there was this freak snowstorm and we all had to get sent home early and some people were stuck at school and we actually had to be home for a couple days. We had a bunch of snow days all in a row. Or think about this past summer where there were a number of tornadoes all happening back to back to back. We just kept on getting hit with tornadoes in the middle of the country, or all the hurricanes that happened this summer. See, the weather ends up having a pretty big effect on people's lives, doesn't it? So I want you to right now just sort of think and talk to the screen or talk to your turn and talk stuffed animal. And I want you to think about why a book on weather is going to be important and interesting. Remember to talk that way, even if you're just pretending. Right. You notice what we did? We could have picked up this book and looked at a book and just sort of thought about it in a boring way, but instead we thought about the things that we care about. When we do that, we're ready to read this with interest and commitment, and you can sort of rally yourself to read any nonfiction book well by taking a moment to make a connection to the topic. So I've assigned a number of books for you on Epic, and when you see those books, you'll see that there are books at many different levels, all about extreme weather. We're going to use the topic of extreme weather to really sort of dig into the art or the skill or the superpower of reading to get smarter. So right now you might find that there are some things that are not as interesting to you and some things that are very interesting to you. And as a reader, you have to make a commitment to learn a particular topic. So that's your job for today. Get yourself to care about that topic. You do that by using the strategy we just tried. Ask yourself, what do I know and care about that connects to the topic in some way?